Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmaster for entrepreneurs and professionals. Life is all about challenging yourself and learning more and growing more and becoming a better version of ourselves. There's no other competition. The competition is with you. That's what Toastmaster teaches us. Today we are going to learn about other phase of Toastmasters, rather the tagline of Toastmasters, where leaders are. And guess what? Our Toastmaster of the day also have a wonderful theme. Let me invite a recently joined Toastmaster, but she's an active Toastmaster in our club and a professional soon to be Toastmaster Manasa. As the Toastmaster of the day, I welcome you over the virtual lectern. Before that, I acknowledge the presence of our distinguished Toastmaster Swarna Kalyan as a keynote speaker, and also our visiting Toastmasters and guests. Toastmaster Manasa, the stage is yours.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, and honored members. I welcome you all to today's meeting at Toastmasters for Entrepreneurs and Professionals. I am your Toastmaster of the day, and it's my pleasure to guide you through the entire gathering. Our meeting today is focused on the topic that many of us can relate to, overcoming our stage fright. So we will explore a few techniques and strategies that help us to conquer our fear and become more confident speakers and presenters. So let's embark our journey together. Before we proceed, I request all of you to mute your audios while others are speaking, and you could on your cameras if you're willing to. And before I move on, firstly, I would like to welcome timer Toastmaster Vamshi to introduce his role.
Thank you, Manasa. Hi, everyone. Greetings of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today I'm playing the timer role. I will, for the speakers, I will for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes time, I will first I will 4 minutes 30 seconds. I will show the green card, and for 4 minutes 45 seconds, I will show the yellow card, and 5 minutes I will show the red card for the speakers. And for table topics, the allocation time is for each speaker is 2 minutes. I will show the green card at 2 minutes. Those are the timer role for the timer guidelines. Over to you, Manasa. Thank you.
Small correction. It is 5, 6, 7 for normal speeches, and today DTM Swarna has a longer speech, which keynote speech. DTM Swarna, do you have any timing guidelines that you want to show the cards?
Fabulous afternoon, evening, and morning to everyone here. My timing, I think I would prefer, it's 30 minutes, right, Raghu?
Right.
Okay, so then we will go 20, 25, 30.
Wonderful, thank you. So, Vamshi, DTM Swarna is the first speaker today, so you can show 20, 25, and 30.
20, 20.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Green,
thank
yellow,
you.
and red. Thank you.
Thank you.
Manasa.
Yeah. Now I welcome Toastmaster Rohan, the grammarian for today, to introduce his role and the word of the day to us.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. I am the grammarian for today, which means that I saying all the words that you say and utter on your time, in your time on the stage today. The word of the day today is dilly-dally. Dilly-dally means wasting time through aimless wandering or indecision. If an example sentence, an example sentence for this could be, if you want to improve your public speaking, stop dilly-dallying today and join Toastmasters, because it's a great place to do that. So I encourage all of you to use this word of the day as much as possible, and it is a challenge to you to use it as much as possible during this. and your time on stage. And I encourage everyone else to switch on your videos, give a thumbs up, like the usage, and encourage the speakers to use the word of the day more often throughout your speeches. In addition, I'll also be monitoring the good usage of the English language as well as the not so good usage, and recommend some improvements to your language skills that we have on stage, because grammar plays a very important role in how we communicate and present or articulate our on the stage today. So as a grammarian, I'll be on the lookout for very interesting usages of the English language, and also use of regional languages as well, because this is an English speaking club. And if you're using regional, I encourage you to translate to English just for the benefit of everyone here. So thank you so much, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Now, we all are gathered to confront one of our most common fear shared by many, stage fear. Whether it's speaking in front of a small group or addressing a large group of audience, stage fear can hinder our ability to communicate effectively. But fear not, today we have assembled here to learn effective techniques and gain valuable insights in overcoming our stage fear. Firstly, I would like to welcome our keynote speaker, Toastmaster Swarna, Kalyan. Toastmaster has several options for members who join. For Swarna Kalyan, DTM, it helped her to hone her leadership skills. The different levels of people management skills she had learned at Club Exco and district leader had made a huge impact at her workplace and at home. In July 2023, she will be the first Indian woman district director in Singapore, where Toastmasters first started 54 years ago. Her favorite quote is by Yoda: do or don't do. There is no try. Now, I will take the privilege to welcome DTM Swarna Kalyan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Manasa. A wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. I'm privileged to be here, and I would like to thank DTM Raghu for inviting me here today to this wonderful club here. For me, can I have a couple of requests? Hey, by the way, the only Telugu I know is Bagunara. So lovely to be here. Before I start my segment, I want to know how many of you are club officers already? Show of hands. Okay, I see 3 of you here. Okay, timer, maybe you want to change your screen to, thank you so much. Yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now next question, what roles do you have?
Vice President membership.
Okay, wonderful. Okay,
Sergeant at Arms.
Wow, that's a wonderful role as well. Okay, and then
Secretary.
VPE. Did you say VPE?
No, secretary.
Oh, secretary. Okay, yeah. And Raghu, how about you?
Multiple roles in multiple clubs.
No, let's talk about this club, maybe.
VP education. In this club, I'm a VP education.
Okay, VPE. Okay, that's good. Our president not here?
No.
Okay. Wow, okay. So now let's look at how many of you are keen to explore leadership in Toastmasters. I hope to see new hands coming up. Well, I hope at the end of my session today that you will step up, because leadership in Toastmasters, to me, personally, I would say that it has helped me to try new things. Toastmasters is a platform where you can make mistakes. You can't make the same mistakes at work because they can have detrimental results, right? I mean, you try to experiment something, it doesn't work. You could lose a job at your workplace. But in Toastmasters, doesn't matter. Maybe the club will say, "Ha, you didn't do a good job." That doesn't matter, but you learn something. When we are successful, we learn how to succeed. And when we fail, we learn what not to do and how to take those lessons forward to make things successful. So always failure is a stepping stone, and Toastmasters is a safe environment to make mistakes. So I hope that at the end of my session today, that you all will say that I do want to try club officer's role as a start. Of course, there are different levels in Toastmasters, but if you are just starting, then club officer's role is a wonderful platform to experiment what you can and what you cannot do, or to understand your own skills. So that's where Toastmasters tagline comes, where leaders are made. Let me just share my slides here. Just give me a minute, yeah? Can you see? I would love to see the rest of them so that we can have a conversation. This is supposed to be an interactive session, so I will be calling out people to help me in this discussion, because it's not going to be just what I'm going to share, because we all know that when I say something, you probably can absorb something. But when you try and do it yourself, we learn better. So I'm going to be inviting people to help me go through this particular session. So understanding leadership in club leadership, I'm going to be sharing two things with you today. One is the club roles and responsibilities of the team members, the exco, and the traits of a healthy team. Now, can I have a show of hands, someone who can share with me what are the different club roles that we have in a club? Anyone can unmute and say what are the different club roles that we have in the club?
No.
Yes, please, Vanita.
Yes. So, starting from Sergeant at Arms, President, VP Education, Vice President Membership, Vice
Yeah.
President Public Relations, Secretary, Treasurer, and
Normally, you can even add the immediate past president.
immediate past president.
Yeah, that's right. But when we look at club roles as such, we will now focus on the ones that you just shared, starting from the sergeant in arms going up to the president. And then once you have a team, we also look at what makes a healthy team. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to share with you today. So now let's look at the very important role in so these are the two things that we're going to share. And now let's look at the very important role, in my opinion, in a club. And I think since Gayatri, was it Vanita who said you're a sergeant at arms?
I'm Sergeant at Arms, yes ma'am, for not this club.
Okay, doesn't matter. You can say, can I request you to read what I do in a club as a sergeant at arms?
Sure, ma'am, I will. What I do, I prepare the meeting venue for members and guests. I manage inventory for meeting supplies. I plan events for the club and am the master organizer for the club.
Yeah, okay. So now what happens? How do things change when it's an online club? Anyone? In an online club, you don't have a meeting venue. So what do?
We send the link of the online meets, ma'am, like
Yeah, that's right.
Zoom, whatever.
The Zoom. Most of the clubs which are online, the Zoom host is normally the sergeant at arms. Yeah, because they are taking care of the Zoom, making sure that you don't have unwanted people entering your Zoom room, making sure that the link is secured. All that is done by the sergeant at arms. Okay, and then if it's an online club, what inventory do you have?
I manage whether everyone's audio and video is correct or not.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so make sure that in a meeting, you make sure that whether everyone's audio and video is in place or not. Yeah, okay. And then I plan the events for the club. So in case you are doing maybe a gathering of the members, even though it can be an online club, but you can always gather members to meet up, right? In my club, what we do is that apart from the monthly meeting, ours is a monthly meeting. So apart from the monthly meeting, every quarter, we have something called as a networking day. And then in that, it can be either online or it can be in person. And we do activities that are totally not related to Toastmasters. It could be a cooking demo, or it could be a mandala art session. Okay, or it could just be all of us go together on a picnic. Okay, and some of our members like to go running. So now in August, we have planned that all of our members who like to participate, we are participating as a group to do a 5K walk or run together. Okay, so these are the things that a sergeant at arms plans for the club. Okay, so that is something that you can explore. Then, of course, you're the master organizer, right? If there is a contest, if there is all that is handled by the sergeant at arms. Okay, now let's look at what are you proud to do? Can you read that?
Yes, sure. Ensure meetings are conducted professionally and serve the club and members for orderly meetings. Always have sufficient welcome feedback forms and material. Contribute the stellar organization of the club.
Yeah. Okay. So now this is based on having a physical club, right? Now in online, how do we say, what do we say about having sufficient welcome kits or feedback forms or materials? How do we do that in online clubs? Anyone? Yeah, you can say. You can
basically say. Welcome kits will be coming by welcoming the guests, and ensure that every a timer have the feedback form, and general evaluator as well as the validator have the feedback forms, and the material, that is a gavel or timer cards.
Okay.
Make sure that we have all the equipments.
Yeah, that's right. In physical, it's the equipments. Online is making sure that the role holders have whatever is required for the meeting, right? And generally, a good practice on online clubs would be that to have the SAA have regular chats on the chat, right? And saying, when you see a visitor coming in, you say, welcome to this meeting. You have a template that you can decide as a club and say, welcome to this meeting, and then keep putting that in. And if there is an agenda, then you need to put the agenda as well. Okay, so that whoever joins in at any time feels welcome. Because in any club, whether for it to be very successful, we need to make sure that who comes in feels welcome. Okay, if members are going to be to themselves, then it's going to be like, if I come in and I don't feel like, oh, how do I talk? They don't talk to me, I may not come back to that club. Okay, please remember that if you want to have members coming back to your club, you must make them feel welcome. If it is physical, of course, it's easier to do. But if it's online, it's even more important to make sure that you call or you have a template to say, welcome to the meeting. Good to see you, so that they feel, oh, okay, this club has a policy in place so that they make everyone feel welcome. Okay, so that is something that the sergeant at arms does. Now, let's look at the treasurer. So who wants to read out the treasurer for me now? I think I saw someone who said he's a secretary or a treasurer, right? Or anybody else is also welcome to read.
Yeah, I will read out. Hi, this is Vamshi. Yeah.
Yes, Vamshi, please read out.
I will read out what I do. I
Yes.
ensure when members are is good understanding with the Toastmasters International. I maintain the accurate records of the expenses and revenues. And I am a key decision maker in financial subjects. I manage P&L, budget, and expenses on behalf of the club.
Yeah, that's right. So what does ensure club and members are in good standing? The treasurer is responsible to upload the payments to the TI system, right? I'm not sure how you all practice in Hyderabad or in this club. What do you do? How do you all pay? Do you all have your self-pay or you all do go through the treasurer? Raghu, how is it done?
Self-pay right now.
Self-pay right now. Okay. So when it is self-pay, of course, then it is left totally to the member. But as a treasurer, you need to make sure that they do follow up, right? You follow up with the members to make sure, hey, have you paid? So that the club is in good standing, and also make sure that the member is in good standing as well. Because especially when contest season is on, suddenly you realize that the member is not in good standing and cannot participate because of that. So it's important to make sure that is there. And then, of course, make sure that there are that there is an accurate record of expense and revenues. Normally in online clubs that I have seen around the world, there are not many club fees collected because it's all online, right? So they don't have it. But there are some clubs which charge a fee so that they have a Zoom account. So if there is something that you're collecting extra, then the treasurer needs to make sure that you have an accurate record. And it should be available to members so that they know how much of money the club has and how much have they spent. This is very important. And then when it comes to P&L, everything is with the treasurer. Now, what am I proud to be as a treasurer?
I'm proud to manage the finances of my club, motivate club members to renew their engagement with my club, be the reliable, trusted officer, work with the executive committee on the club success plan.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Do you all have a club success plan? In this club, do you have a club success plan? If you haven't done it this term, I would strongly recommend that you do it next term. Yeah. It's a very simple document because, of course, the one which is on TI is a very elaborate system. I can share with you what we do in District 80. It's just a simple sheet. I can pass it to you after this training so that as a team, you all can decide on how to do a simple success plan so that we know where we are and where do we want to be. And so in the term, you all work towards that goal. It's like playing a game, right? If there is no target to achieve, then the game gets very boring. Imagine you go to a cricket game or you go to a football game, and you don't see anyone having goals or don't have any runs taken. Is it going to be interesting? It's the same with Toastmasters as well. That's why goals are important. Personal goals, how is success plan built on in a club is ask members, what is your personal goal to achieve? And if they say, I want to do 2 levels, then that becomes a goal for the club. That in this month, in this year, we have to make sure this member is able to do so many speeches. And so therefore, that's how you decide on how many speeches in a year, and then you decide on how are you going to plan the meeting and make sure that the member achieves their goal. And remember, friends, in Toastmasters, the most important client in the whole organization is a member, right? You, me, everyone is an important as an individual member. If there is no member, there is no club. So therefore, the most important person in the club is a member. The most important person in the district is a member. So we have to focus on what the member wants. And that can only be done in a club. And if the club doesn't do that well, then you will lose members. And that's when clubs struggle, because you're not able to get what their objective is. So focusing on having a good success plan is important. And of course, the EXCO works together to make sure you have a good success plan. Now let's look at the next role. The next role is a secretary. Many clubs do not have separate secretary. There may be a treasurer and secretary combination. But if you do have, as far as Toastmasters is concerned, secretary is a very important role, because a secretary is a part of the base camp manager. So therefore, they have access to information that not the other EXCOs have. So they are the part of the 3 people who have base camp management, and one is the club president, the VPE, and of course the secretary. So let's read. Can I invite someone to read out the secretary details?
I will read out.
You will read out, Vamshi, okay?
Yeah. What I do as a secretary, I maintain the accurate records on behalf of the club and its officers. I am the administrative liaison with the Toastmasters International. I record and manage meeting minutes of the executive committee. I am responsible for the club records and correspondence.
Yeah. So basically, you are the point of contact as far as Toastmasters is concerned. Many times, especially during the business meetings, you will find that as a secretary, you will get a letter from TI saying that, hey, you actually have a voting right to choose the TI board of members. Okay, so that's how powerful a club secretary is. So there are 2 voting rights for each club. One is the club president and the other one is the club secretary. So therefore, as far as the administration is concerned, the TI looks at a secretary as a liaison. Yeah. So you are liaising with them to make sure you keep in touch, keep all the information about the club in records. Okay. What are you proud of doing as the secretary?
I am proud to leverage my listening and communication skills, leverage my time management skills to ensure effective meetings, keep the team of the club officers organized and focused, use my proficiency in software programs to manage records.
Yeah. Yes. Can you explain a bit on how does a secretary leverage on the learning and listening and communication skills? Who is taking the minutes of any meeting? A secretary is taking, especially an EXCO meeting, secretary is taking, and that requires a lot of listening and communication skills. And it is also teaches us to manage time. So if you find that in an EXCO meeting, many of them are talking, but not relevant to the topic or the agenda, then the secretary steps in and says, hey, let's manage this time. Okay, we have an hour of EXCO meeting. Let us go through the agenda. Let us go on like that. And if it goes out of context, you bring it back to that. So secretary has that authority to bring back the meeting to whatever is there. And then, so therefore, in the process, you as an individual are learning or honing your listening skills, you're honing your communication skills, as well as learning to improve your time management skills. So these are small skills which are very, very important even in our workplace. Because once you build on your listening skills, of course, you improve at work as well. You're able to pick up things at work as well. And you're able to communicate things as well. So therefore, this is an important skill. Now let's look at VPPR. Can I have someone else who can read out? I see Grammarian Rohan or Vanita or anybody else that I can see, someone who can read it out. Abdul, Dushyant.
I'll read it.
Okay, Dush. Okay.
So, Vice President, Public Relations, what I do, I ensure our club is known in our community. I create social media posts and blogs to invite guests to our meetings. I leverage my marketing skills to create attractive online content, find creative ways to raise club awareness about our club.
Yeah. So basically, a club, when a club has a very good VPPR, we find that the club does well because they are well known, so you see them online, you see them wherever, or if you search for the club, you will suddenly see that it's available on the internet. That's because you're improving your community. You are basically, a VPPR is projecting this club online, and therefore people come to know about it. And what are you proud of doing as a VPPR?
Be the media relation person for the club, grow my confidence to meet the public, make great photographs of club meeting and members, own my journalism skills.
Yeah, because you learn to write, right? Because you're writing for the club. These are some things that you're building, okay? So if you are, any one of you want to build any of these things as a person, as a member, you want to develop these skills, then VPPR is a role for you. If you say, I want to improve my writing skills, then VPPR is a role for you. If you want to grow your confidence of networking, to be in the people facing, then VPPR is a role for you. If you love photography, now online, of course, the challenge is that how do we make our online, the box look attractive, right? All of us are in a box, right? I mean, online meetings are just Zoom screens. So how do we make it look attractive? So these are creativity skills that you will learn as VPPR. And therefore, if any of you think that I want to be a VPPR, then if I want to learn these things, then it's the role for you. Okay, thank you so much, Dushyant. Now let's look at the next role, which is VPM, VP membership. So who wants to read VP membership? Abdul, I know you switched on your video. Or Gayatri, anybody?
I will read out.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Vamshi here.
Yeah, Vamshi.
What I do, I ensure guests are welcome to the club meetings. I promote the benefits of my club and support membership growth. I ensure reward and incentive planning on behalf of the club. I ensure new joiners are registered at Toastmasters International.
Yeah, so basically, the membership building is always done by the VPM. Okay, so what happens is that when VPPR promotes the club, there are guests joining in. And so once the guests join in the meeting, the VPM steps in to make sure that you know who the guest is, get information of the guest, ask them what they want to hear. Is this a place for you? Do you want to join our club? So these are things, these are conversations that the VPM does. Okay, so VPM and SAA are the most important two roles that will make sure that the club is strong, because they convert guests into members. Okay, what are you proud of doing as a VPM?
Share my enthusiasm for my Toastmasters club and journey, leverage my communication and sales skills to see the club grow, put my networking skills to win over new members, work on campaign development.
Yeah, that's right. So if you are trying to hone your marketing skills or your networking skills, then VPM is the role for you to try. Yeah, so that you can leverage on your communication and sales skills to help the club. And now let's look at our next role, which is the VPE. I know Raghu is doing the VPE role, or who was the, there's no, I know Raghu does the VPE role. Raghu, do you want to read, or anybody else who wants to read out the Manasa, you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Vice President Education. What I do. I ensure club meetings are scheduled and have a solid agenda. I allocate meeting roles fairly amongst club members. I help members plan their learning journey. I ensure achievements of members are recorded at Toastmasters and acknowledged at the club.
Yeah, so very important role. Yeah. So today, if the meeting is going on well, then VPE has a lot of credit to take. Okay, so VPE role is an excellent role if you are want to learn people management skills, right? Because suddenly you will have members who will say, I can't come today. So you need to have standby speakers. You need to have all those planning skills in place. And so therefore, a VPE role is an important role where you are doing a lot of multitasking, building a relationship with the club members. You are making sure that the club member is able to achieve their personal goals, okay, and also making sure that the meeting happens in time, making sure that the meeting agenda is in place. All these things are done by the VPE. Now let's look at what am I proud of.
I am proud to help members get the most out of Toastmasters educational program, leverage and hone my organization and leadership, ensure quality meetings that keep members engaged, be the right hand of the club president.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So therefore, you're basically making sure that the Toastmasters program at your club is really beneficial to the member, and also making sure that there's quality meeting. So quality meeting is a huge topic to talk about, right? Today is very difficult to just do it on a 30-minute session, but I can tell you that most of the time you will have members in your club. If you look at any club that is strong, it comes down to just this one thing. If they have a good quality meeting, you will have good membership. Okay, and you will have people turn up in your meeting. So when you have issues of people not coming into your meeting, is because they feel that members feel that there's nothing much I can learn from this meeting. Okay, so when they feel that way, they don't want to come. But if there is a value there, they will definitely come. So as a VPE, it is important to give that value to the member. And so therefore, it's a very important role in any club. And then let's look at club president. Who wants to read it out?
I will read out.
Yeah, maybe we ask someone else. I thought Abdul, is it Abdul? Did you unmute?
Yeah, unmute.
Yeah. Please read it out. Yeah.
Yeah, what I do, I ensure guests are welcome to the club meetings. I promote the benefits of my club and support membership growth.
Oh, I think I
ensure rewards and.
Just a minute. I think I may have missed the club president role. Oh my God, I think I copied the wrong one for the club president. Okay, just give me a minute. Yeah, let me stop share. Just give me a minute. Let me just change my slides. Stop share. Yeah, so club president, can you read this for me?
Yes.
Are you able to see?
Yes, I able to see.
Can you move that in the slideshow mode?
Yeah, this one I don't have in the slideshow board, but I will go to the next one in the slideshow board because I think I made copying. Yeah.
Sure, okay.
For the club president, what I do. I'm the chief executive officer of the club. I direct the club in the meeting the members needs for educational growth and leadership. I work with the officer team to define and achieve club goals. I motivate and coach club members and create a positive club spirit.
Okay, so basically, when we say CEO, we all know, right? So we know that you're the one who's directing, who's giving the setting the direction for the club. Yeah, and then of course making sure that there is membership growth, there is educational growth as well for the members. And if you have heard about the DCP, then making sure that your club achieves distinguished status or a select distinguished status or whatever is your goal, making sure that you achieve it. Okay, and of course motivating and coaching the members to have a positive club spirit. So whenever you have a club, the club president makes an important role to making sure that everyone feels comfortable in that environment. And what are you proud of?
I am proud to bring my vision and leadership to ensure the success of the club, ensure membership retentions and growth, and seeing happy members, lead a team of officers to the collaborative success of your club, leverage my communication skill to ensure a positive club climate.
Okay, so basically, a club president is a very important role because you are able to bring everyone together. So if the club president's role is not about doing things, but to basically delegating, making sure there is delegation of work done, making sure everyone does their responsibilities, and making sure that the club members feel a part of that, creating that club culture. And most of the time, when a club president works on these things, then the whole term becomes very interesting because there's a lot of energy. People are feeling energized. So as a club president, you're learning how to be a wonderful, although we think that CEO means power, but in Toastmasters sense, it actually is servant leadership. That means to say that you are available to the club president and club members, and you work towards what the club members want. So these are the various club officers' roles and responsibilities that I would like to share. I know I've gone over time here. How long? Can I just have about 2 minutes to wrap up?
No problem. You can take as much as you want.
Okay. Wait, let me stop share this and go back to my original. Thank you very much. So we have covered about all the roles and responsibilities. But once you have a team, right, it is very important to make sure that as an exco team, also you work together. And what happens in an exco team? It's a team of different people. It's a team of different people with different ideologies coming together for the club. Okay, and so the leader, of course, is the club president, and the club president decides on how the club wants to go. And every other role in the club works together to make sure that the vision is accomplished. But what are the challenges that comes in a club is team management. And team management is a whole topic by itself, but let me share with you on what are the traits of a healthy team. Because when there is a healthy team, then of course you find that the club also benefits, and the club members also are able to see that the exco is a wonderful team, and therefore they want to be part of that club. So in terms of quality, club quality, the traits of the very good healthy thing is of course trust. Okay, we should be able to have mutual trust. There, as leaders, although we may have personal goals, it's important to make sure that we are able to trust each other in the exco, in the team, so that we know that, okay, this is what we are going to do together. And that can really make a difference to the club. Next is healthy conflict. Conflict is bound to happen in any team. You all know, at work as well, right? We know that each of us have our own ideas. So I may think that my view is correct view. You may think your view is correct view. So how do we make sure that we are able to move on when there is a conflict? So therefore, what is called as a healthy conflict? A healthy conflict is for us to look at both the views or a few views and see which will benefit the common goal. And the common goal is to make sure that the club runs effectively. There is no personal goals here. So therefore, as a team, it's important to learn to agree to disagree, right? I mean, the sense, hey, okay, your view is different, my view is different, but for now, for the sake of the club, I agree to disagree or and move on. We go on with your view if majority agrees on it, and let us make sure that this will benefit the club. Okay, and then commitment is very important, right? Today, when I see that a few members, especially the exco, are not available, it could be holiday season, but sometimes it's very important for a club to have committed leaders. And if you are not able to commit, don't take up exco roles, because we know that all of us are trying to multitask. We have work pressures, we have home pressures, and then Toastmasters. So when we take up a role, we need to say, are we able to commit to this meeting every Saturday evening? If I'm not able to commit to this, therefore, you can say, sorry, I can attend regular meetings as a member whenever I'm available, but I will not be able to commit myself to taking up the role. Because once you are a leader in the club, it is important to see that all of us are there, especially the exco is there in the meeting. Because what will happen is, initially, it will be not an issue. Maybe July to September, October may not be an issue. After some time, what happens is the rest of the exco feel exhausted because they are trying to do multiple roles. They're taking over roles of others as well. Okay, it is not about having a title in your name. It is about what you have offered back to the club. And that's when it is important to have commitment and accountability. Commitment and accountability go hand in hand. That means whatever I do, I'm supposed to do, I do it. If I'm an SAA, I'm supposed to do this, I do it. And I don't need anyone to check to see whether I'm doing. I take accountability. And accountability is a very wonderful leadership skill that all of us can learn. And Toastmasters help us when we learn, when we really commit ourselves and do our role well. And of course, in the end, when all these are in place, then the results will automatically kick in. Because when there is a healthy team, you will find that the club is able to meet its membership requirements, it's able to meet its education requirements, and therefore it becomes a successful club that everyone wants to join. It's not about starting a club, it's about maintaining a club. And therefore, an exco is a very important role. And I wish this club, they will have the next term a very committed exco who will take this club forward. Because when I looked at your vision for the club and what you all are doing, I think as entrepreneurs, as professionals, we all need skills to learn. And this platform would be a good way for you to hone your skills. So with that, I conclude my sharing session on understanding leadership, club leadership in Toastmasters. And if you wish to connect with me on any of my social handles, you can scan on this. This is my Linktree QR code. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or on any of the social media platforms. And you can ask me questions, anything that you think you want to clarify with me on Toastmasters or anything beyond as well. Okay, thank you so much for this session. And I'm open to any questions that you may have. If not, I hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day, Manasa.
Yeah, before handing over to Manasa, anybody has any questions for DTM Swarna Kalyan about the roles? Okay. Manasa, 24.
Yeah. Thank you, DTM Swarna Kalyan, for your courageous and inspiring speech. Your
Wow.
experience serves us as a guiding light for all of us.
DTM Swarna Kalyan, thank you for the session. And this is our token of appreciation online, of course. I wish I can come over to Singapore sometime and then give it personally, but for now it's online. Then I will send a virtual copy or email or WhatsApp. Thank you very much for being here.
You are in mute.
Swarna, you're on mute.
Oh, thank you so much, DTM Raghu, for this and truly appreciate what inviting me here and also managing my time, because I know you asked me earlier as well, and because of my role, we tend to be very busy, and so therefore, thanks for accommodating my timings as well. Thank you so much.
Great. Manasa.
Yeah. Now it's time to invite our second speaker, Toastmaster Vanita, to deliver her L1P2. Before I would welcome her, I would welcome the evaluator, Toastmaster Ravindra, to read out her objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Vanita is attempting L1P2, that is writing a speech with purpose. The speech title is Benefits of Learning Another Language. The purpose of this project is to learn basic methods for writing a speech and to present a well-organized speech. The speech must be well written and clearly focused. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra. Toastmaster Vanita, are we good to go?
Yeah, we are.
Toastmaster Vanita, benefit of learning another language. Benefits of learning another language, Toastmaster Vanita.
Thank you, ma'am, General Evaluator. I mean, Toastmaster of the day. This is the communication distance that we have in our offline meets or online meets. So yeah, is it beneficial to learn other language? So yeah, let me take back to our school days. So what is the second language in your aspects? Or what if might be my second language? So well, my other language is Hindi. So my second language is Hindi. As my first language was English, as a CBSE student, I tend to take the utmost priority given in English rather than other Indian languages. So in my gatherings where my parents say that my parents, relatives, my friends, my cousins, everyone used to tell, Telugu radu. Enduku cheppadam. That state that she doesn't know Telugu. Why will you even speak to her? If we even speak in Telugu, she doesn't even reply the answer. So that is not the thing. But being in a culture that only we have to speak in an English language in the in our career place, so that makes an utmost priority that we should only speak in English rather than speaking in other languages. When Hindi is my second language, as I have said before, as my first language. So let me take back to the topic actually. So, and learning other language provides the memory and also pushes the brain to get familiar with the new grammar and vocabulary tools. It tells the brain to train the memory and remain the new words. Making connection between them and use them in a contested situations makes another thing. So let me take back to my memory that when I was in my 5th grade, I just went to the place called Tamil Nadu. There, as we all know, the religion language is there, Tamil. So when we went to a store to buy a few groceries. So one of the grocery was the grocery Yenna amma, yenna sollada. She was telling that the grocery seller was telling, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? I've got familiar as I could travel along in the Tamil Nadu and come back to Hyderabad. So the languages that they speak, I need to understand them, make them into my language and speak in that way. So I think that the other language, learning other language makes a benefit, and also it makes a high keynote to your professional space. So let me tell the basic uses of learning another language. It enhances their ability to multitasking. So time management and multitasking, I think as these are the utmost important things to learn a second language as well in the Toastmasters. So I will just quickly tell all these things and these things as they communicate in other languages, which helps in thinking in different languages and able to communicate in more than one languages, helps in multitasking. And it even improves the performance in the other academic areas. Fully immersing yourself in another language helps in learning the basis of the languages. It's mean how to communicate in another language and make it in your alternative language to peers in participating in extracurricular activities in specific languages. So learning in other language also improves in accessing the more information and entertainment. Entertainment, even watching series from any other language even makes us learn another language and make it familiar. And it also impacts in the professional space as it's a major impact happening now. Adding another language in your CV or in your resume makes an unparalleled advantage in today's global economy, because more and more employees are looking for the people who speak multiple languages, as this is a special true fields for like customer services, hospitality, healthcare, information technology, and administrative work. Multilingual people can also communicate and interact with diverse communities. This is a valuable asset in an employee's skill set. Even traveling makes a fun-filled learning another language. If we don't learn another language, then there is we have to take a guide with us. We have to think what the guide says. So if we know the other language, we can just go to the place, have fun, speak with the local people, know their cultures, know their emotions with the local language speaking over there. As I said, I went in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. We our family made a trip over there. So when once I went Munnar, the regional people of them made me so effective. The things of them made me so relevant that even I can grab those emotions and like speak with them for an hours and hours. Because even learning other language makes an impact on the mutual feeling that we have, and not only the traveling for our own happiness, whether it's a business or visiting a people, make also family friends, make much more destination things. Fluency isn't required, but local people will really appreciate the attempt that you make to speak in their mother tongue or learn what they are speaking. So this also will help you and discover more and more in you. In fact, speaking in local languages might also help in saving your money, as we need to pay the local guide. And also gain the cultural knowledge and perspective. As I said, I went Munnar and I had fun. I learned the culture of them. I know the tradition, how they perform the every ritual festival that they do. So knowledge of the society and culture behind the language is also necessary to achieve a degree of fluency. The history and culture of the people are reflected in the languages and vice versa. For example, people who speak in Spanish and English can also understand the every word of the song spoken by Shawn Mendes, Shakira, Pitbull, and other international successful Latin pop singers. So these may also take a while, but don't be frustrated. Take a path, learn. The learning process is not done. So learn and make it successful. And even it improves the ton of conjugative functions. Acquiring a second language improves memory, increases attention span, and strengthens the problem solving. In fact, studies have also shown the multilingual people. So these things I have studied while researching about what to speak in the my next segment. So these are the things that I've grabbed literally. I'll state few. Speaking in other language helps us think more logically, use more of their brains, have better working memories, can switch between the tasks and more quickly, have great self-control and are more focused. Because every single time if you change the language and speak whatever you want, it takes the time, it enhances our brain of multitasking, and it helps in the multilingual linguistics also. So it even delays the effects of aging. So having multiple languages under your belt, when you have a major advantages like boosting your creativity. Using another language requires you how to give clues, contents, explanations, justice to get a point across. It improves the skills of the thinking and the ability to find the multiple solutions of the single problem. Even the most important thing in everyone's life is self-confidence. Self-confidence much more improves your skill to speak in foreign language, because English is such a global language. Native English speakers who make an effort of learning a foreign tongue are often receive gratitude and curiosity to learn another language. But what I really feel, great learning and building up that confidence make us much more priority. Thank you. I've completed. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vanita. And it was an amazing speech. Coming back to the theme, first time when I had mic in my hands, my legs were shivering and had not got a word out of my mouth. But now, after joining Toastmasters, slowly the fear in me faded away. Now it's time for all our guests to overcome the fear in you, and also let us warm up our speaking skills with some impromptu speeches during our table topic session. So I invite our table topic master, DTM Raghu, to take over the stage.
Well, this not a prepared speech is what I keep saying every time. And this impromptu section in Toastmaster table topic section prepares you for those moments where you need to speak for a short period, and that 1 to 2 minutes makes a lot of difference, especially when your wife asks you a question, and that makes a difference whether you get beaten by her or whether you are saved in that moment, or maybe any other moment, of course. Your boss asks you where were you on your sick day, and then whether you are in a movie or somewhere else, how do you answer it? It all depends. So let us see. I want to see all your pretty faces. Please keep your videos on, and I'll ask 2 questions, and you need to answer that. You get 1 to 2 minutes to answer. I'll start with the Toastmaster. I'll start with Dushyant. Dushyant, are you ready? Okay. Because the topic is about overcoming fear of public speaking, tell me what pushed you to join Toastmasters? Toastmaster Dushyant, tell me what pushed you to join Toastmasters?
So for me, there are 2 specific reasons. First reason, definitely we want to grow in our corporate life. We want to step on upper part of the ladder. So communication is very important. When we connect with our vice presidents or the senior leadership, we get only 1 minute or 2 minutes in entire month. And in those 2 minutes, we need to present what are our thoughts or what change we want to bring into our organization and in our team, and all those points which we want to bring, we have only limited time. So in that, we need to have very effective communication. Also, when we connect with our team members, with our other managers in the organizations. So effective speaking is very important. There are things when you want to communicate something, you take 10 minutes, but by effective speaking, you can communicate that in just 2 minutes or maybe in 1 minute. So that was one of the reason I wanted to grow into my professional life. And second reason, when we meet people, strangers, or maybe first time in our organization, or specifically after COVID, when we met so many of colleagues in our office, it was the first time. So by then, opening up with people, talking to them, and not limited to your office work, talking to them things around the globe, what is happening in their life, what is happening in your life. So all these things, we become hesitant. I mean, specifically about me, I was a little hesitant. I was not able to open up properly. I was not able to connect with their thought, and there were so many hesitation in me. So to overcome all these things in public speaking and also to grow into our corporate life, I joined Toastmaster Club. And I am proud to say I'm part of Elan Toastmaster Club at Hyderabad, and we are growing a lot. It's almost 6 months, and I took a leadership role as well. And it's quite a good learning, and I am enjoying it. Thanks. This was my time.
Wonderful, Dishant. Thank you very much. Who wants to go next? Ravindra, do you want to go?
Sure, Toastmaster.
I have a hot topic for you. Do you have your wife at home?
Yes, not in this room.
Wonderful.
Luckily.
Wonderful. The topic is for you. Okay. And you know, when I say switch, you need to change your argument. Whether you're talking for or opposite. When I say the switch, you need to change the opposite side of it and switch, come back to your original argument. Okay.
Sure.
And your topic is simple. I love my wife. Toastmaster Ravindra. I love my wife. I love my wife. Toastmaster Ravindra.
Thank you, Thank you so much, Table Topics Master Raghu. I love my wife. Since childhood, I used to have a dream of a good wife. I used to dream about Sri Devi, Hema Malini and all, and the dream came through with my marriage. I love my wife. She's very good, and she's honest, and she's very helpful. She know what I need, and she made it, before I ask. I love my wife. She's like a mentor for me. Who invented this marriage? I hate these people, right? So I used to have I used to remind all my bachelor life, and but there is no help. Every morning I used to get a wake up call unintentionally, and I used to get orders like, yeah, we need milk packet, we need that garam masala, there is no vegetables. You know what, without my wife I can't even think about my life. I love my wife. If somebody asks me the definition of wife, I simply say my wife. I love my wife. Without, by inventing the name wife, right? They spoiled the meaning of life and love. Yet we are, I don't know why everybody addict to this marriage, and or intentionally or forcibly get married, and they used to it with the whole life, with all these problems, right? Sometimes I think, do we really need a wife? Or should we really marry someone? Why can't we enjoy our bachelor life? Should we really behave like a slaves to our wives? See, wherever you touch anybody, right? They definitely tell you a success story of the wives. Without their wife, any husband, trust me guys, without with your wife, trust me, my dear fellow husbands, do you have a peace of mind? I'm questioning all of you. If somebody asks me the synonym of worries, I simply rename it with wife. I think I have done my with my time. Thank you so much, DTM Raghu. Hopefully my wife did not hear me.
Thank you very much, Ravindra. Who wants to go next? I have a place for one last topic. Vanita. Vanita, you've been a speaker. Let us see if anybody else comes. Otherwise, I'll give it to you. Okay. Anyone from guests? Jahnavi, do you want to try?
Yes, sir, I want to.
Okay, Jahnavi. Okay, the topic for you is simpler than what Ravindra spoke. Okay. I love Toastmasters. Toastmasters, Jahnavi. I love Toastmasters.
I love Toastmasters. It has been my second home for communications. It has been my first home for networking. It has taught me so many things.
Switch.
Well, at times it can be irritating when you are supposed to attend meetings on time, even when you're supposed to do some other things. At times there are you get so many messages from different Toastmasters saying there are events to attend. At times
Switch.
it's very sweet that you get to meet new people. In fact, I met few of my upcoming colleagues in Jubileans. It is a platform to interact and create new pathways in your life.
Switch.
But at times you will be, if you are an introvert like me, you can get all your energy drained from Toastmasters, where you meet so many people, you talk to each one of them, and your social battery going low one after the other.
Switch.
And again, in Toastmasters, you become disciplined. You learn the value of time. You learn where to look. You learn about different things. I have learned about PR.
Switch.
And again, I came to know there are tiny things. They're perfectionists. They look at every single mistake that happens in your poster. They look if they have Toastmaster logo has the breathing space or not. It goes away and away and away. But we have to keep on looking. They find the moment you post poster in the PR group, they have thousands of mistakes to correct. But again, there are also learnings for you to learn.
Switch.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Jahnavi. Thank you very much for attempting. Wonderful. Can we have a big round of applause for three of them? They did a great job on the stable topic. It's all about attempting and coming forward when you are given an opportunity. Don't take a back seat. Just come forward and attempt table topic because it's a good practice in impromptu speech. Just like the girlfriend that you lost because you didn't propose at high school. Similarly, you will lose an opportunity and the lost opportunity never comes back. I hope you will improve and become a better version of yourself. Keep practicing, keep growing. Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you, Table Topic Master of the Day, DTM Raghu. Now, let's move on to the last and important segment, the evaluation segment, where we provide feedback to our speakers, and evaluations play a crucial role in our growth as speakers. I welcome our evaluator, Toastmaster Ravindra, to give evaluation to Toastmaster Vanita's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Vanita, you did a great job attempting your L1P2 project. I would like to split my evaluation into three parts. One is what went well, two is what need to be improvised, and three I summarize in 3 lines. Well, you have started with a good question, right? So this is a very good attempt for any speech, right? When you start with a question that attracts the audience, and you can gain the audience, and you can involve them into your speech. And your transitioning is also very good. Every time you start, you give a purpose, then you follow, the purpose is followed up with the example, in a sequence, right? That is also very good. And the topic is also very good, benefit of learning other languages. So any native speaker who joined into Toastmaster will definitely understand the importance. That is also very good. I'll also give you a couple of improvement areas. Then when you start with the speech, right? So you seems like little confused, right? You can directly jump into your topic, and you can start with your introduction and all. Instead, I think you have started with all these things. Those things actually should be taken care by a Toastmaster of the day. It's not wrong, but if you can cut that, then you can save your time. Then while transitioning from purpose to example, right? You said, let me go back to my topic, and again, let me take back to my memory and all, right? So that is not necessary. So you should understand your audience is also little intelligent. So when you speak something, they can understand. So this is also one of the time saving technique. And I personally feel speech should have been little more organized. Like, you start with an introduction. When you jump onto body, then you talk about the core, about in introduction, say, for example, right? So what is language? Why is, the difference between your native language and the other language? So what are all the challenges and all, right? Then in the body, probably you can discuss thoroughly. Then then in the conclusion, you summarize and you close it. So I somehow feel that part is missing. Most of your speech is with advantages, covered with advantages. Then body language sometimes seems little inconfident, right? Sometimes you used to look on the sky. That sounds like you're not, you're searching for the words. That is another thing. And our voice also seems to be little monotony. And you struggle complete your speech within the time, but you crossed it. Probably you also need to look into your time management. All in all, you have done a great job. Probably you need to look into prepare speech into most organized, and concentrate on your body language and voice pitch. Also, when you practice more, then the time management also comes into place. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Over to
Toastmaster
you.
Ravi,
Yep.
for your thoughtful evaluation. Your feedback will undoubtedly help Toastmaster Vanitha to grow as a speaker. Before we continue with our evaluations, let me take a moment to discuss some effective techniques for overcoming our stage fright. These strategies can help us build confidence and deliver impactful speeches or presentations. Few techniques which I want to discuss are preparation. Prepare thoroughly your speech or presentation and practice it multiple times before you deliver it. The second one is deep breathing. Incorporate deep breathing exercise into your pre-speech routine. Take slow, deep breaths in through your nose and exhale slowly through your mouth. Deep breathing helps calm the nervous system and reduces the anxiety. Visualization. Visualize yourself delivering your speech or presentation with confidence and success. Imagine the positive reactions from the audience, which help you and boost confidence in you. Start with smaller audience. If you are starting to overcome the stage fear, begin speaking in front of small group of people, and which helps you to give a speech to a large crowd. So over now, let's go back to our tag team report. So let me call upon our timer, Toastmaster Vamshi, to give the timing report.
Thank you, Manasa. I'm sharing my screen. I will show. Can you please enable me? Share. Can you share?
You're a co-host now.
Yeah. This is the timer report. Swarna is took 40 minutes, 8 seconds, and maximum allocation time is 30 minutes. And the keynote speaker, Swarna, took 40 minutes, 8 seconds, and maximum allocation time is 30 minutes. And speaker one, Vanita, it took 10 minutes, 40 seconds. The maximum allocation time is 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And coming to the table topic speaker, Dushan, it took 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Maximum allocation time is 2 minutes. Ravindra, table topic speaker, is a table topic speaker. So he took 2 minutes, 32 seconds. The maximum allocation time is 2 minutes. Jahanagi, there is a table topics speaker. She took 1 minute, 58 seconds. The maximum allocation 2 minutes. And Ravindra is evaluator. He took 3 minutes, 17 seconds. The maximum allocation is 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah. That is my timer report. Yeah, Vanita, can you please look into your time? You are exceeding the time limit. That is from my point of view. Thank you. Over to you. Answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we have the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Rohan, for the evaluation report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manasa. For my grammarian report, no one used the word of the day. So this is an opportunity for anyone to step up and use the word of the day. If anyone has any example sentences in mind that I'd like to share, please do. This is your opportunity. Anyone?
Toastmaster meetings are dilly-dally, according to many people.
So
Most
yeah,
of the
I did
people,
hear you.
sorry,
So you were speaking, Vanita. Okay, go ahead.
sorry for the interruption.
No, go ahead.
Many people tell that learning other language is a dilly-dally because it's aimless. What will you do after learning a French if you don't go Paris?
Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanita. Great example. All right. So coming to the good usage of the English language, couple of good usage, I'll just give you some highlights. Someone mentioned hone your leadership skills, which is a very good phrase to use, a very rich language. Second was traits of a healthy team. So this is a good phrase to use overall. Instead of qualities, you use the word traits in this phrase, which is. Third is someone said social battery, which was a very interesting use of the phrase to describe an introvert and how we interact in social settings. So these were some of the good usages of the English language. Good usages and some improvements. Someone mentioned liaising. It's not liaising, it's pronounced liaising. So liaison, you become a liaison and you liaise with. That's one improvement in pronunciation that I could recommend. Second is someone mentioned the word inconfident. There's no such word as inconfident. It's unconfident or less confident. So you can replace that with unconfident for this. Someone also mentioned step part of the ladder, of the corporate ladder. It could be simply step up the ladder or step up the corporate ladder just to make it simpler for everyone to understand. All in all, I think everyone had really good usage of the English language. And when you speak slowly and language also and grammar, you can more effectively work on improving and simplifying for the audience. So that would be my recommendation to you. And back to you, Manasa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. So by overall incorporating all the techniques which I mentioned before, you can gradually overcome the stage fear and become a more confident and effective speaker. So thank you for your all attention and participation. And I hope all of us apply all the techniques in our future speeches and presentations and continue supporting each other on our journey for becoming a confident speakers. Thank you, and back to the presiding officer.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Manasa, and all the role players, and especially our keynote speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Swarna. I'll stop recording now.